Hey, welcome back to the 30 Dayer podcast. We are talking about patience, how we all need more of it, but we need it the most when we're in the middle of going for something. Or maybe you've heard like the messy middle, when it feels like your life is like literally disaster. And you're like, what the hell? I started this to make my life better and now it's worse. Like, this is messed up. And so I want to talk about the messy middle and how it's okay. It's actually natural. It's part of the whole process, and how we just need to exercise patience in those moments and understanding. And if we can become patient, if we can find the understanding, knowing that it's the messy part, then that kind of like gives you some solace through the like mucky days. And then suddenly you get to the other side and you're like, wow, I did it. I got through that. And you feel pretty damn amazing. I know I feel pretty damn amazing when I get through something difficult and you're like, wow, maybe I'm tougher than I think I am. So I personally have seen my life change through personal development, but definitely saw my life get worse after doing things and like hiring people and going to stuff and then being like, wow, my life is like total shit. Like, sorry for the swear, but it was terrible. Things got terrible. And you felt stretched or stressed or overwhelmed. And what I've really come to realize, and I have some examples from nature that I'm going to reference to at some point when we're talking today, is that like disruption often or always precedes adaptation. And that is something that's so important to remember. And systems generally don't gently improve. It's like they destabilize and they go cuckoo or they dissolve completely. And then they reorganize and then they emerge at a new level. So, you know how like, I feel like we say like time to up level or time to find a new level. Like you hear that language all the time, right? Like, but what we fail to remember is that to find a new level, it's likely going to be pure garbage for a while. And it's going to be like really messy and uncomfortable. And so I want to address that part of things. And to get us going, my question for you, Dave, is really, why does personal growth seem to take longer than we want it to?
Oh, you never accomplish your goal when you want.
Never. And it doesn't even matter. It's like regardless of how much desire you have, like you're just like, it still takes longer.
Yeah. So
why?
I'll answer that question in a sec. So make sure I answer it.
Okay, I'll bookmark it.
Yeah, bookmark it. In my career, I've mentored now over 1,600
tons
clients.
Of people.
Yeah.
And like close touch coaching.
Yeah, this is boutique. This isn't like we had that many people like on a webinar once or something, right? That's in the tens of thousands.
Right.
No, this is like high ticket boutique coaching, 1,600.
Yeah.
And I've never had anybody ever call me because complaining that their goal came too fast. It's like they set the goal of accomplishing something in a year and it took 7 months and they come like, I want my money back. That goal came too fast. Like,
totally.
Never have I ever experienced that.
Yeah.
However, I will experience people calling me 3 months. So let's say you set a goal that's 12 months out. I've had people call me 3 months before, like totally stressed out. And I think the reason is because when you set a goal, you want it.
Yeah.
And you want it right now.
Yeah, 100%.
And that want never leaves. So disappointment occurs when our thinking doesn't match our reality.
Yes, 100%.
So, right? It's like, oh, I expected Dave to be here at this time a certain way, and then he doesn't show up that way. Boom. I'm disappointed now. Because
it's like the external didn't match your internal decision. So it's like I decided that I want this and now boom, it's not there. And then like you said, disappointment. It's like the internal decision hasn't come forward yet. Yeah. Like physically.
You got it. So the root word of disappointed is appointed. So appointment.
Okay.
Right? So you make an appointment.
I love your little nerdy like etymology drops. Those are great.
It's all that matters.
Because I feel like the etymology, just to deviate for a sec, is like the true definition of something. Because often if you like nerd out and start like searching word definitions, but then you look at the etymology, it's quite different.
Make sure that you download our free goal setting guide. It walks you through the exact steps I take to set big 30-day year goals. Click the link below, sign up now, and get started. You make an appointment to be somewhere. and you don't make it, like you'd be disappointed, or you want someone to come along with you.
Right.
So it's like, oh, I want Jack to join me in the 30-day year. And then she's like, I don't want to do that.
Right.
So it's like, oh, so now you have conflict. So you become disappointed.
Yeah.
Right. And disappointment is like a form of rejection.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's interesting too, because you've made a decision that someone else hasn't consented to.
That's right.
And so is that even fair?
No.
And so it's kind of like, I mean, we're kind of, again, deviating a little bit here, but you have to either become like a master salesperson and learn how to sell someone into the decision you've made, which is like, I don't know, borderline manipulative, but that's the key. Like I hear what you're saying, but yeah, the disappointment comes when it just doesn't align with what you wish life would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you set that goal, you're making an appointment, and the only place that goal exists in the beginning is in your mind.
Yes.
So your outside world, like it's not going to happen in a second. There's a law called the law of gestation. And the law of gestation states that everything needs a period of time to
germinate.
To become fulfilled, right? To present itself. So us as human beings, we know the gestation period of all physical seeds. This is why we can farm. So we know a human baby's 9 months. We know that a carrot is whatever, 70 days. Like we know how long things take to grow physically. Mm-hmm. However, we do not know how long it takes for our spiritual seeds or our thought seeds to transmute, to manifest from our heads into our life. So when you set the goal and you look out in your world for the result, you will become disappointed.
Yeah.
Right? Because you want it. You got to remember that. You want it. And you don't want it like in 5 months. You want it now.
Yeah.
Like I run the questions. So a lot of times I'll do seminars and I'll isolate one person and I'll say to them, and this is true, like no strings attached. So I'll do with you, Jack.
Okay.
Can I do with
you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jack, let's say you are, you're pursuing a goal right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say, all right. So $1 million a month. Mm-hmm. Okay. This is a magic wand.
Okay.
Okay. So if I could wave this magic wand and like that, you would start receiving your $1 million a month deposit into your bank every month. No strings attached. Boom. Would you take it? $1 million a month, every month. No BS.
I feel like I'm being tricked, but yes, I would take
right?
it. I would take it.
100%.
Yes.
Okay. So now you're earning $12 million a year.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm a pretty powerful guy.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to make you another offer. $12 million a month. No strings attached. Just would you like that?
Yes.
You would.
That would be cool.
You would take it, right?
I would take it.
For sure. So that's $144 million a year.
That's so much money.
That's so much money. This is a magic wand. I would deposit in your bank every month.
Oh my God.
No strings attached. $144 million a month. Would you take it?
I would, because I would do lots of great stuff with it.
Right. It's funny hearing people say that because they're not even doing great stuff with what they have right now. But also,
No,
if they had something better, then they would do
I'm trying to
something
justify getting all this money by being like, I'm a good person. I'll do good stuff.
Yeah. So you see, that will never end. Like we could keep going and then eventually.
But it does get weird. It get like when you're offering me $1 billion a year, that's weird.
Right.
It's like,
and it's trillion. So it never
weird.
ends. So the wanting part, it's always like, yeah, of course I would take that.
Yeah.
It's like, do you want a fit or bod? Do you want better? Like this never ends.
Mm-hmm.
We always want more. And that's good. But if we mismanage that want, if we don't understand that everything has a process, if we don't have patience, like how many things have you quit and not followed through on because of lack of patience?
I'm not sure I want to admit it.
Lots, right?
I'm
and
sure.
we all have.
Yeah.
Right?
Even like at a micro level, you know,
Yes.
like because those little micro things add up.
A diet, a habit, an attitude. Like, we're human, so we're programmed. But there's certain things, like for me, I've got a lot of things that I've deviated from lack of patience. But around certain things like my career and my goals, my money goals and business goals, I've never deviated from that. Like, sure, I've become impatient for sure, but it's never caused me to deviate. I stick to the plan.
Yeah.
So it is a patience game. Like when we set a goal, we want it now.
Yeah.
But the world needs time the same way that like the human baby needs 9 months to be built and assembled, I guess is really what it is. Through the law of vibration, the law of attraction. The same thing with our goal. So our job is to keep that seed, keep that faith. And when you start to have an idea and faith put together, that becomes very powerful because it's what I call applied faith. Patience, lack of patience is a sign that you have dropped out of faith.
So true. Yeah, I liked when you said applied faith. That's really what patience is.
Yeah.
Is applied faith.
Yeah.
I've never thought of it that way before, but it's true.
Yeah. And when you have faith, you'll have patience, because patience, faith, persistence, they're all the same.
Kind of like sisters and brothers.
They're
of
the same thing.
thing.
They are the same thing.
Yeah, different
So
concoctions.
what's so weird about patience is patience has this inactivity to it.
Patience has inactivity to it.
Yeah. It's like, so
What
for
do you
a
mean
lot
by
of us, we want to
that?
get out there, we want to like change this around, right? Like want to do something
Well, you
to
know,
make it faster.
I think patience actually has just selfishness in it. Because you're not accepting the reality, or you're not accepting the gestation period, the laws. You're not accepting that. And you're getting mad and disappointed. Frustrated, which I think is selfish. You're not being like honest. You're seeing yourself as the center of the universe, basically. And I deserve all of this now. But the reality is like, well, the sun is actually the center of the universe, not you.
Well, center of our solar system.
Center of our solar system.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're thinking like a common person, like 1000 AD.
Quit calling me a commoner, man. It's weird. I guess if the shoe fits, like what the hell, man? Anyways,
You're thinking like pre-Galileo.
Okay. So like, yes, we've suddenly entered into the ego, right? And we're like thinking like, oh, I should have this already. Like, look at me. But like, maybe you haven't done enough yet. Maybe you haven't served enough yet. You haven't refined enough
that's
yet.
Right. So there's all kinds of trust and patience. So like faith, trust, patience, persistence is patience.
Yeah.
And patience, like for me, it's like there's a calmness in patience. There's a beauty in patience. There's serenity in patience.
Yeah.
But that's not how we're programmed to get things
I
done.
know,
We're programmed to ram things, and we're programmed to get in there and like,
I know.
and self-will.
So I have a follow-up question, which is
Yeah,
right
I
on
could
this
talk
line.
even more about that.
I know. But like, why do you think patience levels never seem to match our ambition?
What do you mean by that?
Like, it just feels like is the lack of patience like ambition like runneth over? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so the most impatient people that I've generally found, unless they just have been like smashed by life and they just have a horrific attitude and they're unbearable to be around, or they're like self-righteous people, like obsessed with themselves, and they think that they're the center of the universe, as you were saying.
Yeah.
There's that is a form of it.
Yeah.
But there's another form where you have a very ambitious person. So what's an ambitious person? Ambitious people want more.
Yeah.
Not only do some ambitious people are selfish, they just want more for themselves, but a lot of ambitious people want more for others too. Like there's all kinds of different personalities of ambitious people. Ambitious people, I've seen generally do suffer with this impatience the most, because their world never reflects. Because ambition we got to get this. Ambition is non-physical, and ambition is unmanifested energy.
Yeah. 100%.
We want to manifest that energy.
Yeah.
So the world's, if you have constantly are ambitious and it's unmanifested, that energy is always unmanifested. So if you're not careful, you'll always be disappointed. You'll always be in self-will, frustrated, angry.
See this is such a big question. Like, it's like, can you refine yourself to the point where you can manage your ambition to the point where you can manifest it?
Yes, of
to
course.
to satisfy that side of yourself, and then it kind
If
of like
you're ever
builds
going to
again.
have a 30-day year, you're going to have to learn how to do that.
Yeah. How to manifest that ambitious energy you have. And then it's going to reset. It's going to come back in. It's going to pour back in. It's never going to stop.
That's right.
It's just going to keep coming
always
in.
the unmanifested
It's
world.
like the waterfall.
That's right. Ambition is unmanifested energy. So if you're constantly looking out, when does it get fulfilled? When it comes manifested.
Yeah.
But prior to that, it's unmanifested. So you're constantly having to fight disappointment, constantly having to fight failure, constantly having to fight the world and things telling you the different. Like I remember watching the Olympics, and there was that speed skater, the Dutch lady that's with that boxer guy, or I think he's about Ryan. I forget his name. And when she set the Olympic record, and then she just broke down, like she just was bawling.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was so beautiful. It was like, wow, like she just wanted that achievement. And when she manifested it, all this energy just goes out. Mm-hmm. And that's what that is. Prior to that moment, that is all unmanifested energy. That is a life's worth of dedication towards a specific thing.
Yeah.
It's endless sacrifice. It's endless discipline.
That's why everyone cries when they win an Oscar.
That's right. It's just all that it's like, boom, it's manifested. And then that release of all that tension and pent upness is then released and out.
Because it's recognition.
Yes.
It's the recognition of the
It's what it
achievement
is.
as well.
Ambition is unmanifested energy. People need to understand that.
Do you feel like then that like the ultimate personality habit to acquire? Oh my God. That's not where I was setting that up for.
Okay, sorry, Jack. I was getting a little...
Getting a little too ambitious. Anyways, no. Like the ultimate like personality habit to form would be the ability to operate at have a high level of ambition with a high level of patience, but like the speed and like articulation to manifest that ambition.
Yeah, the
ability to do it. Just a story comes to mind. I remember Bob Proctor talking about Mark Victor Hansen, I think. I think he's an author.
Mm-hmm. Chicken Soup for the Soul.
Yes. And he said he was the fastest manifester he had ever witnessed.
That's right.
And now just this conversation is making me very curious about that man. Like what made him such a fast manifester? What made him, because clearly he's an ambitious guy. He's achieved a lot. He's done a lot. If you Google him, I'm sure all of his work will come up and you'll be like, okay, you did a lot. How was he able to channel that ambition and just like make it happen, quickly? It's pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so I remember hearing that too when Bob said that about him, that Mark Victor Hansen is the fastest manifester he ever met.
And Bob's a pretty good manifester.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, well, first off, wow, it's a skill. Like
it's a skill.
So, and then it's a skill in how fast because the truth is we're all manifestors.
Yes.
It's just at the speed in which you're manifesting or what you're manifesting.
Right.
We need to change that. So, I'll tell you here now, you can change that. 100% you can. You can speed up the gestation period.
Okay, what would that take?
So, think of it like this. So, heat transmutes things faster. So, I'll give you two examples. If you take a glass of water and the temperature in the room is 15 degrees, that water will stay in a liquid state. So that water is displaying itself. It's still H2O, same chemical compound, okay? That water will display itself that H2O will display itself as liquid based upon the temperature. If you took that glass of water and you put it into a freezer, you change the temperature. It's still the same H2O, but now the H2O is displaying itself as a solid. Why? Because as you remove heat, things slow down. Right? If you take that ice cube and you put it into a pot and you turn it up, you increase the temperature. It's still H2O, but now it'll display itself as steam. So same idea. So if you have the goal of having a 30-day year, that is the non-variable, the invariable. The temperature or your mental attitude is controlling the speed in which that is manifesting or displaying itself in your life. Same way as if you took a piece of chicken and you put it in the oven and you never turn the heat on, would that chicken cook?
Nope. It would
It
just
wouldn't.
sit there.
Right. So entropy would then disintegrate. It would rot and stuff. But
Yeah.
it wouldn't be transmuting that fast. It wouldn't be manifesting that fast. If you took that chicken and you put in a 250, you added more heat, then that chicken will probably be pretty good to eat. I don't know, like I'm not a chicken expert, but like 50 minutes or something. I don't know, 40 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
So it's enough to cook it. So there's temperatures that will never cook a piece of chicken.
Yeah.
So there's this temperature that as it crosses over, it will start to transmute that chicken. It'll start to cook it. If you took that chicken, put it in at 400 degrees, you'll get that chicken in back in about 15, 20 minutes. If you put it in at 1,000 degrees.
It'll just be black and gross.
Yeah. But you get it in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you know that you could take a laser, point it at a piece of chicken, and evaporate it?
Yeah.
Depending on the heat. And that would be instant. Gone. Not even chicken anymore. Like into the ether.
Right.
Vapor. Vaporized.
Yeah.
That's because of heat. So if we want to start to shift the speed in which we're manifesting, it's all going to come down to our desire and our mental attitude, our state of mind behind that. With impatient people, it's a great sign that they want something. You would never experience impatience if you didn't have desire. You would never experience impatience if you didn't have something, some appointment that you've made that you want to be at in a certain way.
Yeah.
And you have every right to do that. So people that are impatient, if they can take that impatience, so first they should say, hey, wow, I'm a person that has standards. I'm a person that is pursuing something. I'm a person that thinks things should be a certain way, and I want that. That's good. But if you're suffering from impatience is a low vibration. You have to realize that you're ambitious and then take that ambition and start to understand that you already possess it, that it is already done. And you just keep nurturing this idea, keep taking action, keep moving forward. And you're going to find that the world starts to change because the world will conform. Your world, Jack, will conform to your thinking. If you're loving this video, hit the like and subscribe button and never miss any of this life-changing content.
I observe you. You are a very ambitious person. And when you lock onto something, you really lock onto it. And I think that that is a real gift that served you. I have the ability to lock on too when I'm really passionate about something. And so there's this, that I like the heat conversation, I think is so important to this, that like what gets you heated? What like inspires the action? Because action takes heat, takes enthusiasm, takes something. And so it's like this ability to harness that passion and heat, but do it in a way that, well, I mean, doesn't completely destroy others or your life.
Yeah, that's right.
Learning to do it in a refined way. But like, what gets you heated? That's an exercise I do actually when I do like content work, actually. Like what ideas get me heated? What ideas get me interested? And actually in preparing for like some of the content we've made recently, I would go in and out of concepts. I was like, oh, this concept is good and not so much anymore. And then this concept is hitting. And then automatically I'll actually feel my like body change. Like it will inspire some kind of movement. Maybe that's like the dance background in me where all of a sudden something hits and I'm inspired and I want to go and do it. I want to do more about it. So this inspired state piece and this like heat piece, I think is so important. What gets you heated? What gets you inspired?
You know, I remember you just triggered a memory in my head. So Napoleon Hill has in his book, Think and Grow Rich, this paragraph that says, no more effort is required to aim high in life, to demand abundance and prosperity than there is to accept misery and poverty. So no more effort is required to aim high in life, to demand abundance and prosperity than there is to accept misery and poverty.
That's interesting.
And
because I would think it would take more effort.
No more effort is required.
I know, but you're challenging that. But I would think that it would take more. So that's something to think about.
So I remember when Bob was teaching that once. And as he was teaching it, he looked up and he said, I did the work and I want it. And he yelled it out. And I was like, whoa. Like, You do not talk to the good Lord like that.
Maybe you do.
You do not.
Maybe you do.
And then he did it again. And he said, I did the work and I want it.
Yeah.
And I said, oh. At that time, I had a goal. And it was a very important goal to me. And the goal was to make, because if you got the goal, you got to spend the day with Bob Proctor, and he was my obsession. Mm-hmm. And the goal was you had to make 15 sales in a quarter. And so you had like 90 days to do it. On the 89th day or the 90th day when I woke up, I had 8 sales. So I was averaging a sale every 11 days. So I needed 7 sales in one day. The odds aren't looking good. Mm-hmm. And I woke up, but I really did want it. And I'd worked my butt off. For that. I was focused. I was doing it. I was doing everything that I was aware of.
Yeah.
And I wasn't willing to not have it. And when I was in that state, I got flashback to that when Bob was saying that. And I was like, you should try it. Try it. Try yelling that out. And I remember being scared to do it because I was like, okay, 2 things are going to happen. Like the first thing is like...
the ground's going to split open?
Yeah. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse are coming down. The ground will split open, throw me down, and I will spend the rest of eternity with Beelzebub. That's the old name for the devil.
Yeah.
With Beelzebub for the rest of my life
Yeah.
in hellfire and brimstone, because you do not talk to the Lord like that.
Yeah.
You just don't. But the other thing that could happen is it works. So I did it. I went in front of the mirror and I yelled it out. And I said, I've done the work and I want it. I said, cough it up. I said, I don't care how you do it. Do it. And I'm talking to my own sub. Talking to myself. That day I had an appointment with a local lady that had an insurance brokerage called Mary. And I went to see Mary and I'm talking to her. And within 15 minutes of that conversation, she said, here, I want to introduce you to my office. Stood me up, walked me through the office, and she enrolled, guess how many people?
7.
7 people. Napoleon Hill says this saying in his Definition of Purpose. He said this line in his Definition of Purpose. He said, no one can explain the indifference of mankind. He said, we wait around too much when all the power is already there. We're just not communicating it properly to the sub. And he said, do not be afraid of this form of autosuggestion. So if you've hit that point and you feel that you have done the work and you really have, if you really have, I'm going to tell you here and now, you can try this and watch. If you've gone to the point you're like, damn it, I am completely dissatisfied of not having this. I've been working my ass off at this for like even too long.
Yeah.
Like a year ago became too long. Mm-hmm. Then you probably need to have a little chat heart to heart with your own self and your own subconscious mind to cough it up. I did the work and I want it. But impatience is not, like, if it's not handled well, it can be very destructive. But truly, impatience is a pretty beautiful sign that you are a person that actually cares, that wants something that is given her. Because it's just telling you what you want. The same with all other problems, or all other sins. Like envy is great because it tells you what you want. Jealousy is fantastic. I remember a client one time saying that she really suffers with jealousy. And I said, oh, that's great. And she was like, what? Like, no, that's not good. And I said, no, it is good. At least you know what you want. A lot of people in life don't even know what they want. Jealous people, if you're a jealous person, next time you feel jealous, you say, hey, whoa, wait a sec. I just want that. You probably just want something better for yourself and maybe others. But you haven't made the realization that you are powerful enough to do that too.
Totally. You think for some reason they're chosen and you're not.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. You've inspired me with that story.
You got a frustration?
I got something. I think, you're going to have to take the girls out tonight. I got some yelling to do tonight. Oh. Try it. Why the hell not? Why not try it?
Yeah.
What's the harm in trying? So the theme of today, just to ground us back to our theme, was really talking about the messy middle when things kind of appear to be shit or not good, instead of we're in that process of like becoming, and it's messy. And so to put people at ease that maybe are very ambitious and are lacking patience, I have some examples from nature that I think can bring some solace to this whole thing. Like we mentioned, like there is a gestation period, and I think it's just good to remind ourselves that this happens all the time around us and we just forget. So one is, of course, the caterpillar becoming a butterfly. It literally dissolves into like gooey liquid and then reforms into a butterfly.
Yeah, it's the caterpillar doesn't sprout wings. It literally turns back into a
It
plasma.
literally
So
liquefies.
It's completely reinvented.
Completely reinvented. And it's such a powerful demonstration. Another one is forest fires. So from the outside, they look very catastrophic, which they can be. Like people can lose their lives in them. It can be very devastating. What happens though is that in those moments, it clears dead debris and it returns nutrients back to the soil. And then it's part of this rejuvenation of the forest. And so then the forest comes back better and healthier because of this disintegration. So that's a good thing to remember. I just learned this. I didn't know this about broken bones. I was just in the research I did for this episode that I discovered this. So when a bone breaks, it forms a messy swollen callus around the fracture. It's usually quite ugly and inflamed. And that temporary overcorrection allows the bone to rebuild, often stronger at the break point. So it's destabilized, but then it becomes reinforced and stronger. Very interesting. Didn't know that. The oyster and the pearl. So a pearl forms because of an irritant. So sand gets inside the shell, which is irritating to the oyster. And then the oyster coats the irritation repeatedly to protect itself. And the result is something valuable in the form of a pearl from persistent discomfort. So no irritation, no pearl.
Life's a pearl, then you
I think
die.
you're the freaking grain of sand in the clams, Dave.
Freaking am, Jack.
Because you're always irritating everybody with your like insight, which I was like, oh shit, this is funny. People that have been coached by you will laugh at that.
It is very strange to be a coach because people, they want to be comfortable and they want something, but then you're also having to like...
You have to irritate them.
Persecute them all the time.
So I think you should reference this when you're like, I'm just the sand, you guys. I'm turning it into a pearl for you.
Yeah.
Don't
like,
worry.
When you go swimming and you get sand in your trunks, that's me.
Not quite.
Oh.
It has to be in the pearl, or into the clam. So the clam would almost be representative of the mind, and a mind that has accepted a goal, and then your little sand irritations are annoying, but then you keep, what does it say? It says persistent discomfort, but then the oyster, rather not a clam, an oyster, coats the irritation repeatedly to protect itself, but the sand is still there and then ultimately becomes a pearl. So very interesting. There's a really powerful coaching reference.
Diamonds are made through pressure.
I have that in here too. Diamonds are made through excessive pressure, heat and excessive pressure. And lots of that activity produces nothing. Mm. And then in the rare case, it produces a diamond.
Yeah. When
carbon eventually is under so much heat, so much pressure for so long, it ultimately turns into a diamond. That actually makes me think of Thomas Edison. What was it, 10,000 tries before he actually figured out how to... Was it the light bulb? Right.
Yeah.
The light bulb, right. Yeah. Okay, so power versus force. So what are some surefire signs that you're in a forceful state rather than a powerful state?
You feel it.
Yeah.
You feel it. Like at the root of everything, this is like kind of the bit of a mind bender around like desire and goals, and faith and confidence and persistence and patience. All desire is born out of lack. All ambition is born out of lack because it's all unmanifested. It's because that thing isn't in your life. That is why you desire it. Like you don't desire things that are in your life.
Yeah, they're there.
Yeah, they're already there,
them.
right? So
yeah.
it's like, if I ask you, Jack, do you desire to have a double sink in the kitchen?
No, because I have one.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you desire to have an office chair?
I have one.
right? And you're satisfied with it.
It's okay.
Do you desire to have a better
I
one?
do, but it hasn't bubbled over yet, so
That's right.
I don't have a new one yet.
That's right. So it's all the degree of your desire. So desire is only when something isn't there. So all desire is born out of lack. So people that don't make that jump to get out of that lack state that created the desire itself.
Yeah.
So saying like the pearl in the sand there. It's like the state that created it itself. You have to move out of the lack and move into an abundance mindset. Mm-hmm. So you have to know that it's already there. And that's where patience comes in. That's where vigilance comes in. Because everything already exists. Every dollar you've ever earned was always there. And every dollar you ever will earn is there already too.
Yeah.
So all desire is born out of lack. But if you stay in that lack, it keeps the desire. It's like a catch-22. It's very strange.
Yeah.
It's advanced mindset.
I actually have a book idea for you that you should write.
All right.
That's The Paradoxes of Success. And you take all of those like annoying examples and you explain them. You can write a book about that.
Success.
Because it is a paradox, right? It's like, why does it have to be that way?
Yeah,
But
yin and yang.
yes, there's always this polarity going on.
If I was to get a tattoo, I would probably get a tattoo of the yin and yang.
Oh, yeah? Where would you get one? Like right on your like forehead or
No.
neck? Like a neck tattoo? Just your face, like happy.
Yeah. one eye would be the black and then the white.
Oh, yeah, no, that wouldn't work so much for your line of work, actually. Okay, so one of my like last kind of sections here to dive into is just really around another revisiting on persistence. Do you think that there's like a point where like you have to call it, where it's like the problem is solvable if you persist, but is it? And like you're just like banging your head against a wall. Do you think there's like a point where you can't solve the potential issue that's holding you back from your goal? No? Or do you think everything is persistence?
I think you have to. I think you have to put a ring on persistence, because if you don't, what else do you have?
Yeah. Damn it. There's this thing I really wanted to bail on this week. Just jokes.
Well, hey, you can bail on stuff too. That'll just
I'm
tell
just
you.
kidding.
And that's what happens to people too. Like people start out strong because their desire is strong. That's the only reason you ever start out strong, because your desire is strong. But most people weaken as they progress, and it's the desire for something weakens. And the easiest way to get someone to get rid of a desire is just failure. But some people respond differently. Like when I woke up that day and I technically was failing because I was behind. I need 7 sales in a day. I never I never submitted to that.
You know,
I went at it.
Yeah, one quick example from that too. I remember I've had, lots of conversations since COVID happened. But I remember people's mindsets were very polar opposite when it came to COVID.
Yeah.
Like some people were like, oh, it's COVID. Like I'm throwing in the towel. Like I'm not going to.
Like self-care? Just in general?
Just in general. Like if they had a business or something, they're like, oh, this is the sign that I like shouldn't do this. So I'm going to like totally pull back from what I'm wanting to do. And others had a totally different mindset where it's like, no, I'm pushing in harder.
Yeah.
And it was like very polar opposite approaches. Very few kind of in the middle. Like you couldn't stay where you were because everything was changing.
Yeah.
So it was like, what side are you in? Are you kind of like withdrawing, seeing this as a sign to like pull back from what it is that you want? Or are you the opposite where you're like, no, I want to push even harder? And I feel like those were the two things happening. And I didn't probably talk to a not large enough sample to say that it's like half the people I knew or 10% of the people I knew. It was just very polar opposite. People using the outside world as an excuse.
Yeah.
To like slow down.
One of my favorite quotes of all time is, circumstances don't make the person, they reveal them.
Yes. 100%. That's what happened. That's what happened there for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Last thought about patience and the messy middle.
If you're impatient, that's good. If you remain impatient, that's not good. Understand that you can achieve. If you've hit that point where you're on an edge between quitting and giving it just one grand heave-ho, I'd recommend you give the grand heave-ho. Yeah.
Okay.
See if you're right on the edge. I think so many of us, we get right to that edge. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen people get right to that edge, right to the edge of a breakthrough, and then go right back. I've even seen people manifest their goals and then slowly start to tear them down.
Oof.
And go back to where they were. I've seen that.
Yep. Okay. So don't tear it down. Just persist.
With persistence, you will win. Without persistence, you will fail.
All right. Put a ring on persistence. If this podcast is opening your eyes to powerful new ideas, helping you think bigger, and opening your level of awareness, be sure to hit subscribe right now and leave us a 5-star review. That will help us reach more ambitious people just like you ready to grow.